Hello, grade 9s. No, we did that already, right? Okay, so we're looking at standard form. Now, you might ask yourself, what is standard form? It's a good question because that's what we're looking at, and everything we've been given so far has been in standard form. So here's an example of a straight line in standard form. Y equals 2x minus 5. That's how all our functions have looked so far. Just y on the left-hand side equals everything else on the right-hand side with summing times x plus or minus something else. But what happens if I gave you the same function, but it looked something like 2y minus 4x equals minus 10? Suddenly it looks quite different. And it's not as easy. If I gave you the input, how are you going to find out the output now if you're given it in this form? It's not going to be as easy to go, oh, well, just substitute in, then you're going to have to rearrange. So what we do is we convert this into standard form. And it's really just manipulating equations, which you've been doing quite a bit of already. So we want to rearrange our equation that we're given, this one here, and we want to make it look like standard form. Y equals something times x plus or minus something else. Okay, well, we already got the y's on the left-hand side, so these x's, I'm going to say let's plus 4x on both sides, because then minus 4x plus 4x gives us 0. So we've just got 2y equals, I'm going to put the plus 4x to start with, minus 10, so that we're already getting into that form. Then here we want it to look like y, not 2y. So what do we need to do? Well, let's divide that by 2. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the whole of the other side. So 2y over 2, all those 2's kind of just cancel. So 2, 2, so we're just left with y equals. Now, are you going to kill a kitten if you just cancel that 4x with that 2? Indeed, you certainly are. So we have to divide both of these terms by 2. So 4x over 2 is 2x, minus 10 over 2 is minus 5. Great stuff. It looks like standard form because it's y, just y on the left-hand side, and then equals something times x plus or minus something else. So let's run through a few more examples, just we got them together, and then you've got 4 to do by yourself homework. So let's go for what happens if I gave you 3x plus y equals 10. How do we convert into, so there's example 2. How do we convert it into standard form? Well, I don't want that 3x, so what can I do to that side to eliminate the 3x? I can just minus 3x, those two sort each other out. So we've got y equals, now to save ourselves a step, I'm not going to write 10 minus 3x because we know we want the x part at the beginning. As long as you keep the sign with it, it's minus 3x, and this is a positive 10, so it's a plus 10 of positive 10. There it is, standard form. Okay, not too bad. Let's go for last example. What happens if we've got, let's do something like this. We've got a half y, and we said minus 2x plus 3 equals 0. How about something like that? Okay, let's start and do this step by step. Minus 2x. So what do we need to do to each side? We need a plus 2x plus 2x. Those two eliminate each other to give 0. So we've got a half y plus 3 equals positive 2x. Okay, next up, what do we need to do so we can eliminate that 3? Minus 3, so those eliminate, and we've got a half y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, and last step, we don't want a half y, we want y. So what can we do to this so that it becomes just y? Now, there are two options, because you could have divided by a half, but I think it's easier just to times by 2 times that whole side by 2. So we're going to distribute into the brackets, and we've got y equals 2 times 2, 4x minus 6. It's in standard form. So what does everything look like that's in standard form? Let's rewind and just write it up here, and we're going to come back to what each of these mean, but it's y equals mx plus c. In other words, we're going to multiply by something. We already know m stands for gradient, and our c is what we're adding at the end. So let's just put a adding. Now c could be a negative number, like here c was negative 5. So there's nothing to say c must be positive, nothing to say m must be positive, but that's what our standard form looks like. So I'm actually going to get rid of this to say I don't know what that is. Let's just leave it like that. There's our standard form. You've got 4 to do, 1, 2, 3, 4 solutions on the page after that. Have